All right, guys, I'll go ahead and lead it off here. So we made a trade today. It was just official, and we'll get B.J. Finney from the Seahawks, who we welcome. It'll help us in the offensive line room. He's a veteran offensive lineman, and Carlos will go to Seattle. And we just want to thank Carlos. Carlos had a tremendous career here, made a great impact on this organization and in the community here, did a lot of really positive things, and was always out and about in the community. So it'll be a good fit for him. He'll have a great opportunity, and we just wish him the best.
Coach, did the Carlos Dunlap situation just really reach a point where it was best for both sides to move in a different direction?
I think that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
What does it say to the locker room? I mean, he was clearly frustrated with his role. What does it say to the players in your locker room that, if you're not buying in, if you're frustrated with your role, you'll be out of here?
Every situation is different, and again, it's I believe in the guys in the locker room. They're about the right stuff. And so again, this will be a one-time issue.
Like, how much of Carlos's reduced role was lack of production, and how much was maybe lack of effort, or maybe a combination?
Well, we just look at what everybody does every single day. And again, just always trying to put the team in the best position to win football games. That's what drives every single decision we make, and we'll continue to make.
Coach, so many people are emotionally invested, but I think as coaches, that turnover is just part of football. So do you look at this as just another turnover because you got to focus on what you have in front of you?
We do have to put this behind us and focus on what's in front because we got a big game on Sunday. At the same part, I do recognize that Carlos was a big piece of this organization for a really long time and did some great things here. And so I understand, why you're having a press conference tonight after I've already had one today, and the significance of it all. And I understand all that. But at the same time, we do need to move forward. And we got a couple of days of prep left to go play against Tennessee.
Coach, why don't you think this could have been salvaged and you could have made it work, or vice versa? Carlos could have made it work with you guys.
I don't think it's worth getting into all that. It's behind us now, and we'll move forward and, wish him the best in Seattle.
Zac, it seems like there's been a lot of uncharacteristic things done by this franchise since you've took over. Do you feel like they've been really aggressive in getting you the things that you need to kind of build the team that you're looking for?
Oh, I do. I think, I can only speak to when I've been here. And since I've been here, again, I mentioned this morning, the communication has been outstanding. We're all on the same page. And so, again, happy to work here and happy just to be involved in this process with the Browns, with Duke, the Blackburns, everybody. I've enjoyed every second of it.
You feel like that maybe puts a little more pressure on you to go out and perform when they have kind of done some things that maybe are against their MO to provide those results that they're looking for?
I sure hope so. I mean, when you're the head coach of an NFL team, you better have some urgency to go win some football games and feel that pressure. That's fine with me. Coach,
have you talked to any of the players since this officially went down and their thoughts about everything?
Not specifically about that. I've always talked to the leaders on the team about a lot of different issues, but not specifically, no.
Coach, do you think this is just another example of I guess they call it, the roster turnover, but of where this roster is as far as transitioning from a certain age group to another certain age group? Does it speak to where your rookies and where your second-year players are at?
I think everything's just a player-by-player basis, and so, again, we've got a lot of really good veterans on this football team who we get quality snaps from and get a lot of production from, and we're counting on those guys to continue that going forward this season.
Coach, I know decisions like this aren't an overnight thing. Had this been a long process? Was he in the spirit of it for quite a while and then not? I mean, how did this all unfold, do you think?
I think that's one of those things where, again, it's behind us at this point, and everybody gets a fresh start, and that's just the best way to approach it.
Zac, not only did you, it looks like you're adding Finney, but there's also a report out there that you guys are going to go ahead and sign Quentin, barring everything going well with the COVID protocols. Can you confirm that?
Well, the COVID protocol is a little tricky for me right now as they go through this process. So I'm not always certain what I'm at liberty to say until it's time to say it.
Okay,
So I'm just going to ignore that question for now.
there you go. Well, I'll ask around it then. What do you feel like y'all can bring to the offensive line? I mean, what are you looking for when you're looking at pieces you're adding, especially on the interior? What are you looking for right now at this point in the season?
Well, I mean, we're always looking for people that can provide competition and depth. And, there were a lot of really good things we saw from our linemen this last weekend and against a really good front four. And so it is difficult when a couple of those guys go down because they were really starting to gel. They played 6 games together. They were really starting to feel each other out. Again, hopefully a couple of those guys are day-to-day. Hopefully we get them back for this weekend. But it was a group that was starting to find their rhythm a little bit. And again, some of these guys that could end up playing have gotten a lot of quality reps. We're going to have to add some guys that will be in the fold that are going to have to get up to speed fast. But feel like we're starting to get a group of guys who understand what we want from them, and they're getting the techniques down and really have a great understanding of the scheme that we're asking them to accomplish, and working together in pass protection with a lot of the different pressures we see and twists and all that stuff. You're starting to see some evidence of some really good things on tape, and we're just going to continue to make progress in that area.
Coach, how difficult was it to practice today? I mean, you're down all these lines. I mean, that affects a lot of things, what you do when you're trying to run your team drills and everything. I mean, how difficult when you have all those guys down on a big work day is it to get the work done?
All hands on deck. The walkthrough, the strength coaches are giving you looks, and
right.
A lot of the coaches are giving you looks, and then you go to practice and you just got to pull bodies. Some D tackles that are on the scout team are playing offensive, so you're just trying to get the best look possible. Guys have really embraced that and done whatever it takes to get some quality reps, and was really impressed with the way practice went off today for all the reasons you said. We had some guys down and guys didn't complain. They stepped up, they played some different roles and did a really nice job for us.
With 8 guys down, was that the most you've had down at a practice that you can recall?
It sure felt that way.
Was Finney a guy that you guys had conversations with back in the spring during free agency?
We've watched Finney for sure. That's just for, we were aware of him. We've tracked him for a while now. I'm happy to get him.
Is his familiarity with the division important at all?
It certainly helps, to spend 4 years in Pittsburgh like he did and to play against Baltimore. And I know, Cleveland's a little bit new on defense now, but certainly just understanding the physicality and the size of this division certainly helps.
Coach, I'm sure you try to learn each and every step, with everything that you do. Do you think you learned anything from this Carlos Dunlap situation that you could take with you moving forward?
Probably. Yeah, there's probably, you're right in that. You're always looking to learn, and in every situation, there's something you can take from it, positively, negative, whatever it is. You got to learn from those experiences as you go. And so, yeah, I would say that I'm sure there's some things, and sometimes they don't hit you in the face right away. Sometimes it takes some time for it to all settle in and you reflect back on different situations and just make sure that you grow from it.
2 more minutes with Coach.
Coach, you picked up guys that are interior offensive line depth additions, but you got problems at injury on the outside. I mean, could these guys play outside? Do you have guards that can go outside to tackle? I mean, do you have some versatility there in a pinch?
I think that remains to be seen. I can't really answer that yet on some of the guys we're bringing in. But again, we've got some guys that have repped out there that are on our team right now that have played a lot of snaps there, whether it be college career or in training camp. So feel good about where we're at right now. But just overall, finding tackles out there is not the easiest thing to do. In this environment, a lot of guys opted out, a lot of guys on this. So you find the best players you can and you get them trained up.
Right.
Coach, what have you seen from what have you seen for Kareem? I think he played 35% of the snaps, I think, on Sunday. Is that about right for him? How do you see him as a player? How do you think he's developing?
Yeah, I think, for a guy that really didn't lift, he had the shoulder injury from January of this spring until August was really when he started getting back in the fold of working out. He's starting to get all the strength back. That was something going into the season. Even he was just getting it all back. He'd just been in the weight room and I was going to go play NFL football. And so I think with him, you see improvement every single week. It's starting to sink in. And so again, he's getting through this first half of the season. He's got a lot of quality reps. I know when the bye comes, it'll be a chance for a lot of these rookies to reflect on some of the things that have happened the first 8 weeks to them and get a chance to rewatch their snaps and make some improvements as we go forward. But count on him to have a really solid week this week. We're counting on him and he's open to that. He's done a great job. as he gets ready for these games.
One last question for Coach.
Zach, you mentioned how exceptional it is for you to have a second meeting after you've already done a full meeting with the media today. You could have just left it at the statement released by the team. What was it about this situation that made you feel like it was necessary to come and have a second meeting with the media?
Well, I think, again, Carlos has done some great things for this organization and for the community here. And he deserves to go out the right way, and he's being sent to a team that's a really great organization. They're in the hunt right now. They got a great record, and he'll have a chance to go out of that. So, again, it's just because you can have a disagreement and be frustrated doesn't mean that you can't. And I wish the best for him.